Welcome everyone to the Q&A session of the Evening Brew Podcast. Today I'll be asking Sameer Scane a few questions and let's see what he has to say.
My first question is going to be that what actually got you and what made your mind that you wanted to do this? Like, what got you into the scene of content creation?
You see, Salman, I have a long explanation for this. I moved to Australia 5 years back. It wasn't my decision. My parents chose it for me to get a better education. So once I moved away from Dhaka society at the age of 14. I was young then. I was immature. I'd say it was the old me. I wasn't a very good person. Okay, and I didn't understand. We all grew up in this cocoon of wealth and privilege, but I feel like after I moved, my whole life changed. I as a person, and you see, I've been lucky enough to Dhaka. I think twice to thrice a year, every year since I've come back. So I'd say in the last 3 years, every single time I go back, things hit me differently. Okay, whether I've been westernized or not, but when I see people suffering, when I see Bangladeshi suffer, I suffer inside, and it doesn't come from looking at it from inside a car because Thora, I'll give you an example. Yeah, when we're looking at a slum, okay, say you're going to school by bus, you see this Nutun slum form, you see these new Bosti Cheleperadeke. First day you see it from the busser window, it would affect you a bit. Okay. Second day you see it, it would affect you about the same amount. Fifth day you see it, it wouldn't affect you so much. Seventh day you see it, you wouldn't even look out the window because it's normal to you. You're immune to it. That's what's happened to all of Bangladeshi society. We're immune to the sufferings around us. That's the problem. And what happened, I think, with the and that's what needs changing to actually envision a better Bangladesh. And every single time I went back, I think the past 2 years, I started going to Komlapur train station. Have you been there?
Komlapur train station, yeah,
Have you been
I
there?
have. I
You
have.
have. But what I'm trying to say is that many people don't actually go to those places. I feel like once you go to those places, you see a different side of the country. You're not living in that Gulshan, Bonani, rich bubble of that privilege. Like, you want to see the outside where the real people are, the people I want to represent. And that's where my feelings first started like coming for them. Because when I went to these places, say when I went to Old Dhaka, okay, before when I used to go there, I used to go by car. But that's where I started going with my fupa. I started going with him by like walking around these places and actually seeing things which I didn't see before or which my eyes weren't open enough for. When I see these people suffering, like Toro, I was walking in Purantaka, right? It was smelly. Like it was very, very smelly. But I liked exploring. I liked that I was walking and exploring. It was lively. It was amazing. But as it was smelling, I told my fupa, Jay, how do people live here? How do people work here? It's poorly planned town. People seem happy, but they're struggling. It's not the nicest place to work. And as I was like walking, I was like covering my mouth. Shit, this place is smelly. I felt ungrateful, Peter, but that's how I felt. At that same exact moment, I looked to my right. There's two kids, same age as me, lying down on top of a drain. It's smelly, right? I'm doing this while they're sleeping somehow in this noisy part of Old Dhaka. I think it was Bongo Bazaar. So that gave me a reality check of my privilege and how ungrateful many of us are. I think many of us have those life changing moments. That was one of them for me. And it was just that whole day as a whole because after that, I had to join my dad and my family for this business dinner kind of thing. And there was this chief guest at that. I'm not going to name him, but it was at this fancy Chinese place. And he talked about how he has four mansions in Dubai, how he has a Ferrari, a Lamborghini. I was upset at the table because of what I saw earlier in the day. While this man was flexing his riches. And I was like, this is Bangladesh's biggest problem, inequality. It is the root to all of our major problems and it needs to be solved. And the only way we can look at solving that is by realizing, I think, by raising awareness and then realizing the privileges we have to not take them for granted, to be better human beings. And after, I think this year, you know how we all have amazing ideas, right? We all have these random blurts of ideas. For me, that happens at night before I go to sleep. So instead of letting them go off, because if you go to sleep, you forget it the next day, I start using my phone as a diary because that's easier, okay? I noted down these ideas of just what I wanted to do. I always wanted to do something to help these people because they need help. Once I started spending time with them, once I started looking at the problems, I started caring for them. I wanted to do something for them. So, with these ideas, once I started noting them down, within a few months, when I look back at it, it all made sense. I wanted to influence a majority. How best to influence a majority than something like content creation, which has the potential to reach so many people? We all know that. So instead of doing a charity which brings small scale change, for example, charities do amazing work. Okay, they can pull off a project, help 100 people, one off though. That is one off. That's not really influencing them. That's impacting. That's direct impact on the ground. I think to bring long term success, you need to influence the people so that they can do that work. If I can inspire 5,000 people to join a charity, that's doing a lot more work than a smaller charity can. In a way, it's different. I'm not helping monetarily or any of that, but it's influencing people for the better. And to champion these people, like the neglected individuals, whether they be victims of ragging or the handicapped people or RMG workers who are exploited on a day-to-day basis, I chose content creation. And I was hoping that it would impact people. I started it. When you start something like this, it's quite scary, okay? Who knew? I could have been the biggest me. I could have got no views. I could have made no impact. I could have sat there thinking, I failed. Unlucky. I'm going to stop doing it, move on with my life. Thankfully, it didn't go on like that. I'm very, very grateful to my viewers and my fans or followers who've supported me throughout. And it's given me so much hope. People sharing my video, people watching my video says a lot. They want change as much as I want change. They want to see a better Bangladesh as much as I do. And that gives me hope. That should give everyone hope that at least a large chunk of us out there want change, want to see a future Bangladesh in a much better position than we are at now. That is why I started. That's the backstory to it.
Thank you for like giving us a look into the concept, and it's incredible. Like we all like you're doing something that we all should be doing in some way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, congrats to you, man. Props, big props. Moving on to the second question is that what are your future plans? Like where do you see yourself in 2 years, 3 years, and everything?
I find it scary to get it in terms of a long-term format. I take it with my team. I look at it as a video kind of thing. If I look at it long term, I will make mistakes. I feel like if I focus on each video with all my effort, I can put out the best product. I don't think too into it. I do have like a rough list of ideas which I want to explore, which need to be explored to represent the people I want to champion. But I take it video to video. And who knows, sometimes thing with trends, I don't want to jump on trends. I feel like trends aren't worth jumping on, but when certain trends are up, people are thinking about that. And when people are thinking about it, they have stronger emotion to it. The video I launched last night was on the rape culture thing going on. People know about this now, people are feeling it. So I have to satisfy them and help them learn more by giving them what they want at that particular time. So I'm happy I could do that with my last video. But yeah, my future plans, I don't know. This could crash any moment. Who knows? I hope people are there and I do have faith. I will keep on doing this whether my views go down or like whatever. But yeah, my future plans, I don't look into it but 2 years. I want to take it video by video, day by day. I learn so much every day in terms of leadership, in terms of content, what my audience wants. Yeah, be happy with how's it going and day by day thing, year by year plan.
Good that you're taking this by like a present approach because মাঝে মাঝে like if you plan for the future it like অনেক বেশি planning করলে think it turns out that things don't actually happen if you overplan. So lastly, the third question is how was your experience with the Evening Brew podcast?
Come on, this has been fun. Honestly, I've done a few Facebook lives before. I've had to speak in Bangla, which was nice, but I think this podcast experience has been different. I've really enjoyed it, and I think speaking on something without video gave me a lot more confidence at least and let me express myself to the best of my ability. So thanks for the platform. Thank you for the opportunity. And I look forward to working with you again.
Thank you, Samir. We're very glad to have you on the podcast. And yeah, like it's amazing how you actually handled everything because I thought that it was all gonna go down, but really grateful, man. Really grateful for sharing your ideas, for the concept, for the opinion, everything. And I hope you do well. You have my regards. Keep in contact, and yeah, we hope that we can see a better Bangladesh in the future. And I'll be proud to say that I knew someone who had the rush and who had the will to at least do better. This has been the Evening Brew Podcast, the fourth episode. Thank you for watching.